Hello friend, and welcome to Senior Artist Strokes. I'm Angel Mercado. The scene that we're going to be working today from is this. This happened about a couple of months ago, a few months ago. My wife and I were going to Honeymoon Island, a place we just love to go. I love to sketch there, paint there. It's a beautiful park. And it was in the morning, and it was happened to be we arrived there just when the clouds were starting to breaking as the sun was trying to show its appearance, and it created a beautiful display of it was almost like a dance of lights and shadows, clouds, sky, sun, reflections on the water. Beautiful. Another reason why really I wanted to move here close to the water, so I would be able to learn to see this from life, not through photographs or through the computer screen, and be able to paint them, in this case sketch them. So I want to share this with you because it would be a great exercise for you to learn how to blend, to learn how to sketch with soft edges. Very few hard edges you are going to find on this. This will be the sail boat, the sail. Maybe some of the waves, a little bit of the sun might have a little bit of hard edge, and that's about it. Everything else is blended, soft. So I think it will be a great exercise for you to learn how to do, to practice. And remember, it takes more than one time. Practice until you feel confident. So that's what it is. Before we go, remember to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the little bell. That way you know when I have when I have posted new videos. And also, if you haven't done it yet, I have a little gift for you that will be in the description section, where I have several exercises that I do daily. I think these exercises are fundamental, especially for people like us at our age and older. Then we're getting a little bit of a shaky hands. Our posture is not the same as it used to be, not as steady. It really helps us to build up muscle memory, to make the flow of the arm move better. Also, the quality of the line work will improve significantly if you do these exercises daily. I find them very important, and that's why I did them for you. So I hope you're going to take advantage of that, and if you do, it's something that you should do every day. Every day, like when you're sitting down, I don't know, with a piece of paper, any pen, pencil, you can just start doing them. Also, if you have a tablet, you can use that. That way you won't feel like you're using too much paper. The important thing is that you do them. A good time to do them is when you have time to sketch. Try to put aside the first 5-10 minutes and do these exercises. And that is when you are going to get into the right mindset, and you are going to see a lot better benefits from them right before you start doing your drawing, your sketchings. Sometimes for me it's a lot more important to do nothing but these exercises than actually sketch something, because this is what is going to improve our line work quality, and also that is what's going to give us confidence, because we'll see what's happening to our line work, how they have improved. So remember that. So now, enough said, let's go and see how we can create this. I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope I'll get to see you again. Let's go and see what it's all about. Okay, so as always, the first thing I'd like to do, I'd like to create a little frame where our project is going to go, so it doesn't have to be anything. So this rectangle is going to have the the sun we want. Now, the very first thing we want to decide is where we want the horizon line to be. In this case, since it's going to be more about sky than sea, we're going to place it below the half center of the paper. So that's going to be my horizon line. And what is the horizon line? The horizon line is nothing but the eye level. Whatever you see, wherever your eyes are, let's say they're right in here, that's where my horizon line is going to be. If I'm standing up, my horizon line might move up a little bit, but nevertheless, it's wherever the eye level is at. Usually we divide the paper into thirds. Okay, so here I'm dividing the paper into thirds roughly, into 1, 2/3, same thing here, roughly into thirds. So very light lines that you can see, holding my pencil on the side. That way I'm not going to dig into the paper and make this dark line I won't be able to erase. Okay, that's too dark. For me, this is dark enough so I can see it. Maybe my sun is going to be going right through that line, a little bit higher. Okay, so you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to erase it here, that way I'm not going to confuse you. Okay, so right below the sun, of course, since we're drawing over, it's going to be over the water, we want to make sure we make this kind of like shape like this, where the sun is going to be reflecting the water. And you see, and this one doesn't have to be anything special, just make sure that you are right below the sun. And that's pretty much all the drawing that I'm going to do. So I'm just going to start adding very freely, nothing too special. Very freely I'm going to start adding graphite to my paper. Okay, and by the way, I'm starting this with an HB pencil. The reason why I start with an HB pencil is because if you are heavy-handed, you might not want to start with a heavier pencil or a softer pencil. Usually if it was me, I would just doing it on, for my own sake, this drawing, I would be starting up with maybe a softer pencil, such as a 4B, for instance, 2B, 4B. But since we know some of you might be new at this and you struggle with your soft hand, it will be a lot easier if we start with the soft. With the hard lead, such an HB. And all we want to do now is just apply an even coat all the way around the paper. And as you can see, I'm going in the same direction. And I'm just going to stop, be careful not to touch this area that I wanted to preserve the white. This is also a good exercise to learn how to preserve the white in your drawing. Because once you use the white of the paper, since we don't use white pencil, it will be very difficult to bring the white back. So now then we have a light value. This is going to be one of the lightest values we'll have in the sky. The sky is going to be one of the darkest areas of this whole sketch. So in this upper part is where we see clear sky. So we are going to make it darker. At the same time, we're going to be able to showcase our sun much better than if it was, very light tone. I might speed up this in places because, it's pretty much the same thing. You can get the idea. Pretty much this is almost like a line that goes in an angle like this. If you follow what I'm going with my pencil, you see it's almost like an angle. But to avoid the straight line, we just go in short segments. That way we're not going to create this huge pattern. And here also we're going to darken a little bit this area, because we also want to showcase the brightness of the reflection of the sun. The paper, then you pretty much have to start over again. And you want to do that too many times. But, when you are learning, you have to do that. There's almost no way out. And here I'm just going to start going over, but going around the sun. That way we can redefine the sun a little bit more, but at the same time we're not destroying all of the light work we done before. There we go. There. So you can see that you see this brighter side of the cloud. Very atmospheric. There. Okay. So I'm squinting my eyes and I'm thinking, okay, so where do I need to go darker? For sure, because I just want to show here the sun. Okay, it's right in here. So this part of the sun is pretty much going to be darker than the surrounding part of the sun is going to be darker than the rest of it, because here is just pure sky. This area we're going to also see part of the sky kind of showing, so it's going to be darker. And all of this is going to help us lead the eye of the viewer into the sun, you see, by making these areas not very important, especially around the edges. As I'm squinting my eyes, I'm trying to think about organic. We want to create organic shapes. We don't want to create too many, straight edges, too stiff shapes. We want to make them look like natural, organic, like they belong there. So that's what I also try to do when I'm doing this. Just try to keep my shapes organic. Okay, so now I'm going to pick out the tissue again, and we're going to go over this one more time. So first thing I'm going to do again, I'm going to go and reestablish my horizon line, make sure we're doing fine here. So it's going to be there. There we go. And from here, I'm just going to start creating. Remember, the sun is right here, so we made this sort of like our line here, like this. And this is going to be kind of like spread apart, farther apart, because the sun, was just hitting here and there in the water. So as we do this, I'm going to start getting a little bit darker and darker as I come forward. So now I'm going to start applying a little more pressure to the pencil so I can start darkening this more. Also, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to go straight up and down in some areas, just to be able to cover some of the white, spaces I have left in the paper. And here, I want to start adding more. This is very light here because I don't want to kill all of that white, of course, just keep some of it but not all of it. Always trying to see where the sun is at, that way I'm not going to go past that. Okay, so far it's working out great, just where I want it. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to get my 6B pencil. The 6B pencil is the darkest pencil I'm going to use, so it's the softer, has the softest lead. And you're going to see a difference here when I start going with the 6B pencil. It's going to be a lot darker, you see. And here I'm going to start going across in some areas, because of course it's not going to be a solid white line, of course not, because we have water moving, so it's going to be playing back and forth like this. And this time I want to create a little bit of texture in the water, because we're going to see some longer lines, you know, the waves, the water is moving, so it's going to create this effect. It's not going to be just a solid dark. Really creating the illusion that there's a thicker cloud there that hasn't, that's getting a lot more shadow. So a little bit of a semicircle, just circular base like this. So I'm not going to create a straight edge. And right now, from this point on, really I'm not looking much at my reference anymore. I'm just going with the feel and see what this is giving me. So that is how I'm going to be working with from now on. It's just by more intuition, by feel, than by reference. Like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my eraser. I have this other type of eraser. This is not as soft. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to start creating some of these little waves and see if I can lift them up. There. And this don't have to be a whole lot of them, but some of them. The farther they are, the smaller they are, the closer they are, the longer the wave is. So keep that in mind. Here and there. And just be random with this, don't overdo it. And just in some areas, that's all you need to do. Like that. And I'm going to go over this part there. Just want to make sure I want to get that area above it more well defined there. Like that. And here we're going to also, in some areas, going to bring the light in some of these clouds, like maybe this one was getting a little bit of more sunlight. some here and there, you see. Maybe I'll get my kneaded eraser for this one, so it can be a little bit softer. Let's see how this is going to go. Yeah, like that. There we go. See if I can do this. We need to add some person to the scene. But for this, I think I'm going to get my electric eraser. That way I can really, yeah, this is kind of too thick. Let me, you see, I can still reshape this. And I'm going to go back to my pencil now and get this a little bit broken up. And we have some seagulls at the distance. I'm making right now just little dots. You don't need to get very complicated with this because they're far away from us, so you're just going to see just little markings, little dots of light there.